and richness of chicken butter masala, a creamy, sumptuous treat that combines tender chicken pieces with a velvety tomato-based sauce, kissed by a blend of fragrant spices and caressed by the indulgent touch of butter. Join us as we explore the secrets behind creating this exquisite dish, bringing the aroma of Indian kitchens into your homes. From the meticulous preparation of its spicy infused gravy to the gentle simmer that coaxes out every layer of flavor, we guide you through each step, ensuring that you can recreate this masterpiece in your kitchen. So gather your ingredients and let's embark on a culinary adventure that promises to delight your taste buds and warm your heart. But first, let me share our amazing guest tonight. We are beyond thrilled to welcome a guest who masterfully mixes beats with beats and rhythm with recipes. He's not only our favorite local DJ, but an all-around nice guy, but a true maestro of melodies and meals alike. Vincent Corrales, also known to the world as DJ Galaxy. Now, Vince isn't your typical DJ. He brings an electrifying energy not to dance floors only, but also to the kitchen, cooking up a storm with as much passion as he spins tracks. His cosmic vibes go beyond music, reaching into the very essence of our community, nurturing both body and soul, with a hearty scoop of love for his community, a spoonful of unbeatable music, and a boundless zest for helping end food insecurity. Tonight, we're not just blending beats with beats, we're amalgamating rhythms with recipes, crafting a melody of flavors that resonates with the heart of our community. It's not merely a collaboration, it's a grand celebration of what truly brings us together, the universal languages of food, music, and our shared commitment to making a difference in the lives around us. So without further ado, let's give a warm, resounding neighbor's welcome to DJ Galaxy Vince Corrales.
Hey, honey, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. You did an amazing job at the Red Dress Party.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, it was so much fun, even though we couldn't get anywhere near the stage. I figured I could get a backstage pass, but I didn't get one. But that's okay, you did an amazing job. And for those of you who don't know, the Red Dress Party is a fundraiser that raises money for the LGBTQ Center.
Yes.
We actually have somebody from the center coming on in a few weeks.
Oh, cool.
And we're actually going to do an episode that we take the food that's coming out of the pantry that week, and we're going to do a show based on that food so that people that are getting the food can actually make something from the recipe, from the pantry items that they get. So we're working on that right now.
That's exciting.
So what really brought me to you was you do every year Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter.
Now Easter, yeah, we just
You just added Easter. So tell us a little bit about what you do for food in our community during those holidays.
So during like Thanksgiving and Christmas, my friends and I cook up 500 meals. Almost 1,000 total between the two holidays, and we decided to start doing something for Easter as well. We like to prepare like turkeys and hams, which you and several volunteers help to cook.
Right.
And we serve to our local homeless people. We go to the different camps, and then we take a bunch of food over to the Coachella Valley Rescue Mission.
So now when you first started doing that, how many were you doing?
Oh gosh, I kind of lost count. It's when I first started doing it was during the pandemic, when we were doing like lunches, just lunch, bologna sandwiches and all that kind of stuff. And then I thought, wait, where are these people going to get the, like holiday meals?
Right.
So it started with like 100, I think.
And now you're up to 1,000.
Almost up to 1,000, yeah.
That's amazing. So you can each year, you can go on and find DJ Galaxy Vincent online, and you can actually donate or help to cook.
Yeah, I look for people to volunteer their ovens, because obviously I don't have a big kitchen. So
right.
I'll deliver a whole bunch of turkeys and hams and whatever to different people, and then they prepare the food, and I have a team that goes and picks everything up, and I spend probably a day before carving a lot of the turkeys, the hams, all that kind of stuff, and then we get them prepared for the feeding for this.
It's actually amazing that you can feed 1,000 people. I would be challenged to feed 1,000 people, so that's impressive that you can do that. So who donates all the turkeys? Where do they come from?
So they just come from when I post on Facebook, hey, can you donate a turkey or a ham or any kind of food item? People will message me and they'll either drop them off at my house or I'll go and pick them up.
Right.
And then I, in turn, take those birds to people who are going to cook them for me.
But I understand you're not a big cook, though, right?
I'm not a cook at all. I know how to cook turkey. I know how to cook ham. I know how to do mashed potatoes and veggies and that kind of stuff. But what we're about to do today, like, I have no
clue.
idea.
All right. So we're doing Indian food. You like Indian food?
I do.
All right. So we're doing a butter masala, chicken butter masala, which is on the mild side of Indian cooking. I don't want people to be too concerned, too fearful of exploring flavors in their kitchen. So this is a really mild recipe. You can spice it up based on the amount of chili and other spices you put into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the ingredients with everybody. I'm going to have you stand over here.
Okay.
And we're going to, as I pass things to you, we're going to start cooking, all right?
Okay.
So this is done in 3 different segments. So it's a little bit more complicated of a show than I would normally have done, but we're going to give it a try here. So the first thing that you have to do is you have to marinate your chicken. So let's go into the ingredients for the marinade that you're going to do. In the morning, you're going to put it in the fridge before you leave for work. You're going to let it marinate all day. And then when you come home at night, the process is very quick after the marination process. So let's start off with that. So we've got a half a cup of Greek yogurt. We have some boneless chicken breasts that I've already cut up into little bits. We've got a teaspoon of Indian Grand Marsala. So it looks like this. You can order it online at Amazon. I picked mine up at Jensen's right here in town. We also have some turmeric, 1/8 of a teaspoon. We've got 1/3 of a teaspoon of salt, some ginger paste, some fenugreek leaves, which are Indian. It comes off of an Indian plant. It's kind of like tarragon or basil, but it's off of an Indian, and it's just, you can buy them online. So it looks like this, or this. I don't know which one Joe's at. This one? All right, Joe's at this one. All right, so you can order these online. You can also get them at Jensen's. We've got some lemon juice, not lime juice, oil, and that's it. So we're going to take our chicken, or we're going to take our ingredients. So we've got our yogurt, our Grand Masala, our turmeric, our salt, our ginger paste, our Grand Marsala, there's that ginger, and you can buy the ginger paste in the store just in a tube, so you don't have to go through all the hassle of shredding all your ginger, lemon juice, olive oil or regular oil, and the leaves. All right. So we're going to mix all of this together. Real simple. So this is the longest part of this entire process. So we're going to mix that together. Take our chicken, and we're just going to put it right over the chicken. And you're going to let that marinate. So put it in a Ziploc bag or cover it up with some plastic. And you're going to let it marinate in the kitchen, in your refrigerator, at least 60 minutes. You probably want to do it all night if you can do it all night, but the longer the better, because the yogurt is going to absorb into that chicken and keep it moist when we're cooking it. The spices are just going to sear onto the chicken, and while we cut it up in cubes, so it cooks quickly and it stays moist. So you're going to put that in the fridge. And when you bring it out, this is what you got. So this has been marinating for about 8 hours today. All right, so Vince, I'm going to have you, where's my olive oil? We're going to put some olive oil in this pan. So this is our step 2. So our directions are kind of right here. So we're going to make our puree first. So we put the olive oil in. We're going to get our diced onions. So let me move this out of the way and bring this next tray in and share it. So this is our puree. This is the base of the sauce that we're making. So in here, we have a tablespoon of olive oil. We have about 1.5, 2 large onions. It doesn't matter. You can do 1 large onion, 2 large onions, 2 medium onions, whatever your onion flavor is, preference is. You have the ground Marsala again. We have some ginger. We have the leaves again, the oil, the lemon juice. So all of this, basically the same as what we put in the marinade, but now we're going to put it into the oven and we're going to cook these amazing spices. So we're going to start off with the olive oil. We got that in there already, right? There's a little more. All right. So on that olive oil, let's turn this up a little. And I am going to give you such preparation. There we go. That's on. Yep. Oops, maybe it's not. All right. There we go. Wrong oven. All right, so we're going to heat this up. We're using a cast iron skillet, so we want to be careful about it getting too hot. So what we're doing in here is we're creating this sauce, I suppose. It's a puree that we're actually creating. So we're going to start with the onions, and we're going to let those saute down for a second. Brown them up, so let's bring this heat up a little bit. So you're just going to kind of saute those around. I'll give you that spoon. So just let them set for a minute, keep them level, and they're going to start to heat up. As they start to sizzle, just keep them going. All right, we don't want them to burn. As soon as those start to grill up, we are going to add in the rest of our spices. So we're going to start off with the garlic. Then we're going to add the 2 Indian spices. There they go. And the reason we want to cook these spices is because the flavor really pulls out as we're cooking the spices. We're going to add the turmeric, the salt. Oops. There we go. And we're going to let those start to cook up. Now, like I said, you're going to make this marinade. You're going to let it sit in your refrigerator in a Ziploc bag or cover it up with some plastic wrap and let it marinate at least an hour. The longer the better. So if you do this first thing in the morning before you leave for work, it takes you 3 minutes to put that together, throw it in your refrigerator, let it marinate all day, and then we're going to sear those up as soon as we finish our first part of the sauce. So by now,
smelling delicious. Yeah,
you can already smell the spices starting to come. And as soon as those look good, I'm going to rinse this bowl out real fast and have our marinade in it. Because what we have to do is we have to create a puree. So as soon as all of this is done, we're going to add it into a bowl, and then we're going to use our immersion blender. And we're going to kind of blend it down. You could use your regular blender at home, your big blender. I'm about less is better. So the less things you have to get dirty, the less things Joe has to clean up at the end of the show. So I try to make his job as easy as possible. So we're going to use the immersion blender, and we're gonna get a blend on it. It's not going to be a puree. So if you really want, the true way to do it would be to do a puree. But it's just you and your friends that are having this meal, and nobody's judging you on it. If they are, they probably shouldn't be guests at your house. So that looks really good.
It smells delicious.
Yep. So the next thing we're going to put into that is our tomatoes. So these are fire roasted. I just bought them in the store. Good Italian fire roasted tomatoes. You could use regular tomatoes, but the process would be a little bit longer if you had to cut up all your tomatoes and put them in and get them soft enough to make this blend, this puree. It would just take a little bit too much time to do it. So again, less is better. And then
that looks delicious.
Does that look good?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to take all of that and we're going to pour it into this pan. Hopefully without too much spillage. There we go. All right.
You turn this off?
Nope, leave it on. So the next thing we have to do is we have to cook what's going to go into this whole recipe. So we've got one more platter here. So in this is the actual butter masala sauce. So in this we have 3 tablespoons of butter. We have again the Kashmiri cream gram masala, and we have the Kashmiri red chili. So you can adjust these flavors based on your flavor. So as you're making it, if you want it to be spicier, you can add more chili. I suggest you start with less, and you can add more if you're really wanting to get it to be super spicy. We have some more of our Indian leaves and some heavy cream. You could use almond milk. You could use half and half. But you do have to use some type of a more creamy thing. If you use almond milk, you're not going to get that thickness or richness of the sauce, so you might need to thicken it up with some cornstarch, which will help with your thickening process. But so that's on, yes?
Yes.
So we're going to put our butter in here. And we're going to get that butter melting for me. And while he does that, we're going to take this sauce that we just made, immersion blender, other camera, Joe.
You're moving around so much.
I'm like, where's it? Oh, these days. Anyway, we're going to blend this all up to be a fine little puree. Like I said, if it's a little chunky, it doesn't matter. But in an Indian restaurant, they would definitely puree it. All right, so that's going. So now we're going to take this chicken that we marinated, and you're going to use your fingers, and you're just going to put it in. All right, one piece at a time. Don't overcrowd the pan. Leave a little space. We'll probably have to do 2 panfuls. So what we're doing with this chicken is it's small enough in volume that they'll cook pretty quickly. So we're trying to sear them on each side. So I've got some tongs over there for you somewhere. Here they are.
Just flip them over.
So you'll flip them over once you get them all in. Yeah. Everyone's always nervous about using their fingers in the kitchen. We cut with our hands, and then it was like, oh, can I touch it to put it in the pan? I'm like, you've touched it like 1,000 times. So, yes, you can. Get your hands in your food. So that's all about wanting this one.
Okay.
All right? So the reason you don't want to overcrowd your pan is that it won't brown. So if you put too much in a pan, then that heat distribution just doesn't happen properly. And so less, again, is better in this case. Start with the first one, turn it over, see how brown it is.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
So give it another second before you, just a little more, a little browner before you turn it.
Okay.
So he's going to keep turning those. We've got this great sauce. You can taste this as you're going along just to see how the flavors are. Good. So this is just supposed to be like a tomato base. All the spices that we've added into this chicken is what's going to bring in some more flavor. And we have some more chili and stuff we're going to add to it.
We might cook a little bit more.
And they probably won't be completely cooked when you flip them over, but they will continue to simmer in the sauce at the end and finish cooking. So they don't have to be completely finished.
Yeah.
But we do want to get a nice brown on them before you turn them.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a good brown?
That's a good brown, yeah. So I find when I'm layering things into a pan, if I start at 12 o'clock, if I look at a plate and the pan as a clock, start at 12 o'clock and I put it around 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then the middle, and then by the time I'm done, I can go back at 12 o'clock and start to flip them, so I know the order that I went in, so I'm not second guessing myself when I'm putting them into a pan. Look how easy. You're learning to be a cook.
I like that.
Music and food is a perfect combination for people. So how long have you been a DJ?
Since 1993. I'm celebrating 33 years.
33 years in Palm Springs. How long?
Well, I started at Daddy Warbucks in 1996.
Here.
So, yeah, Coachella Valley.
Okay, I've never heard of Daddy Warbucks, so.
Daddy Warbucks Choices, that's when all the bars were in Cathedral City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, way back in the day.
Way back in the day.
Way before your time.
Yeah, they still had horse-drawn carriages or something like that. I don't know. So those look really good. And I'm going to give you a bowl to put those in as you pull them out and replace them with the new ones. So you can just take those and throw them in there.
Okay.
So like I said, this recipe is a little longer than it normally would be. We're going to serve this with a basamante rice. Bleh. And so we've already made the rice that you're going to serve over it. And then we're going to do some naan bread. So if you can either do naan bread yourself, which would be foolish, or you can go to Trader Joe's and you can buy it already in a packet and just put it into your air fryer, into your oven and warm it up. And it's the perfect combination. You don't necessarily need to do a vegetable because you've got tomatoes in here. It's a tomato base, so you've got tomatoes in there, you've got cream, you've got garlic, you've got all kinds of great stuff. And we're also going to put in some cashew pieces at the end just for some extra crunch in the final piece. Perfect. That's probably enough for all of us tonight, so I'm going to be eating this for days, and so are my friends. Everyone's getting a dish later on. So why haven't you taken up cooking? You're just too busy with music?
Well, I've kind of taken up cooking a little bit, just during the holidays.
Right.
No, I mean, I appreciate food. I just don't know how to cook.
You just know how to cook. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you just got married, right?
I got married, but I don't do the cooking. He does the cooking.
Vince is his partner, and so Vince and Vince.
Yeah, I need a treadmill, yeah.
I need a treadmill, who's one of our local drag performers here, and just an all-around good person. I met Vince, oh my gosh, 3 or 4 prides ago. He was lugging himself, dress pulled up, wig, and I put him on my car and said, "You need a ride, girl." And from then on, we've been friends. So I actually did drag.
I didn't know that's how you met him.
Yes, that's how we met.
Oh,
and
yeah, you did drag.
I did drag at your show, at her show, in November last year.
You look fabulous.
Crystal Crown.
You did amazing. Are you going to be in the contest for Miss Impala this year?
No. So I did drag because our theme last year for Palm Springs Pride was Drag Now, Drag Forever, Drag's Not a Crime. And we were supporting the drag community. I was looking for a way to do a fundraiser. And I decided I would do drag, and Anita Treadmill invited me to the show. And we raised like $1,500. We did really well.
You did amazing.
Yeah, it was fun.
You looked amazing.
I did look pretty amazing. On Facebook, I have a profile. If you want to look at it, no negative comments, under Miss Crystal Crown. And I look fabulous. Look, Joe's like going, "Oh my God, what, Joe?"
You're going to be on next season's RuPaul Drag Race, right?
Yeah, RuPaul, look out. You know what? That's all I'm saying. I'm younger and cuter. All right.
Ooh.
Right. Well, you know these old drag queens. All right. So that looks fabulous. So now we're going to put this other chicken back into this pan.
Right now? Okay.
Oh, not yet. Sorry. We're going to add our other spices to this. Let those cook in a little bit, and add that chicken on top.
Okay. Just pour it on top?
Pour it on top. There you go. And then mix it all together. Bring those spices all together.
Oh, that smells delicious.
So good. We're going to add some of our leaves. There we go. We're going to add a little bit of sugar, just a little bit, about a teaspoon. Blend all that together.
Oh my gosh, I'm having so much fun.
And you're learning to make something new.
Yes.
So the next thing we're going to put in is some of our cashews. If you're allergic to nuts, you don't have to put the cashews in. It just adds a little bit more of a dimension when you're eating it. You get a little bit of crunch, a little bit of juicy chicken, and some of the great Indian spices. And it all just really blends together so well. And the last part is we're going to put our sauce back in. Turn that down a little. And it's a little thick, so if it's a little thick, that's all right. We're just going to add a little bit of water to it. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. There we go. A little bit more. And then the final piece to this is some heavy cream. In our case, I'm going to put some heavy cream in it. And we're going to let that just kind of do its thing and simmer. I'm going to turn it real low. But because I'm so organized, we already, of course, have one already prepared. And we're going to have DJ Galaxy be the first taste tester.
Ooh.
So even though it's not the one you made, it's still going to be just as good. All right. So I'm going to have you come over here, and I'm going to serve some up for you. And you can tell them a little bit about your music and what you're doing.
Like I learned how to cook tonight.
What do you have coming up?
Coming up this weekend is the an event for the Transgender Wellness Center.
With Margaret Cho.
With Margaret Cho.
Yeah.
I've never seen her
Isn't
live.
that
I'm
amazing?
so excited.
So you'll have Margaret Cho and where's it at?
It's going to be at Oscars.
Oscars on Arenas.
Oscars downtown Palm Springs. And then I do the Oscars tea dance on Sunday.
Right, so every Sunday. And then they can hear you on KGay.
KGay 106.5.
KGay 106.5.
Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon.
So he does the morning, the afternoon lunch.
The
Monday,
retro
Wednesdays,
lunch.
and Friday retro lunch.
Yes.
So
it's a whole mix of remixes of songs from the 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. It's just an hour of upbeat music.
it's great
It gets
music.
you going through your afternoon when you're cooking and cleaning
Yeah,
house.
see, there you go. Cleaning house, that's what we need to do. All right, so we're going to take some of this great sauce that we already made earlier. We're going to put it on top of this basmati rice. I'm going to take a little bit of cilantro. And just roll it all up together. And impressive, huh?
I can never use a knife like that. No, sorry. I can never do that. I have to put it in the blender.
All right. So we're going to take a little bit of cilantro for the top. I'm going to take a little bit of the heavy cream. We're just going to drizzle it around. And there you have it. Can you see that, Joe?
Yep.
All right. You get the first bite.
Oh, thank you. This looks delicious and smells delicious. Mmm.
Good? What
This
do you
is
taste?
amazing.
What do you taste?
I can't describe. It's just like a...
It's a great blending of spices though, right? It's not too hot.
No, it's not hot at all.
Right. So not all Indian food is hot. A lot of it can be very mild. You get to choose the spices, just like with Mexican food or Asian food. You can either have a super spicy Asian dish or you can have a more mild of the same version. So it all depends really what you like.
It kind of has that traditional taste of Indian food.
Yeah, Indian food, but
A
not
little
like,
bit of, a tiny bit of sweetness, not a lot of spice. It doesn't.
it's
taste
not
that spicy.
overt.
It's
Yeah.
not over. I can
Yeah.
taste it. I can feel it.
Yes.
But it's not like.
Yeah. So that about wraps it up for another scrumptious episode of Neighbors Cooking. Tonight's dishes truly showcased the fantastic diversity and creativity that lives right next door. A big thank you goes out to DJ Galaxy for spinning those decks and keeping us all
thank you.
dancing on the dance floor. And it's been an evening full of fun, and I'm so glad you came.
Thank you for having me.
You are more than welcome. Don't forget, if you love tonight's episode, spread the love, hit that like button, share our feast with your friends, and tag us with your own culinary creations inspired by tonight's show. We're all about building a community here, one delicious dish at a time. So whether you're a seasoned dish chef or just like Vincent and not so much, keep those incredible flavors going, that they keep us united. Until then, keep cooking, keep sharing, and keep bringing people together. Good night, everyone, and we'll see you next week in the kitchen. Have a great week.